Yeah, we timed it right.
We did. I was not even trying to do that, but
yeah, we timed it.
It just happened to
correctly
work out.
this time.
What I mean to say is we're professional streamers and we planned that.
I am trapping dogs.
No, wait, hold on. I am trapping dogs. I am the one who's trapping dogs. It is me, Dog Trapper.
Stormstrong, how's it going?
Hey.
Glad everybody was enjoying those jams.
We're getting into it. Yeah, more matches, some more cross-set matches.
Yeah.
I think both are AOA versus Worlds Collide tonight.
Yeah, should be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Historically, AOA's done fairly well against Worlds Collide. I think that has to partly to do with the piles of reap hating that happens with AOA.
This deck sure has a lot of tributes.
This deck have
your best gift sub ever? Was your original sub a gift sub and it turned into a 9-month sub?
I think so. We've had a lot of generous benefactors in this channel.
Very true.
A lot of whatever the criminal's name from Great Expectations was.
I was gonna say see the leaderboard, but we don't have a leaderboard. Anyone could just get on that leaderboard right now. Also, check out the new. I added a couple more VTTV emotes. I got Peepo Snow. It's pretty great.
This is. I didn't realize this is a Gangernaut.
Yeah, yeah. It was the first gift turned into a regular sub. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay,
that's very cool.
Toilet paper. I see. They've got some sort of holiday emotes now.
Yes, we are into the holiday times. There it is. It's so great. It's happy too. It's not even upset.
Hypno Beam in this deck. Nizik Resonator. Oh jeez. I can only imagine if Keyforge had Hypno Beam instead of the containment field.
Yeah, it'd be pretty silly.
Does anybody else look at the SAS update? The reason we bring it up is that Barcus Rex is now our highest SAS Coda deck. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Venus Ignishop is still our highest, and it is now 87. It keeps getting higher.
Yeah, and that doesn't make sense to me. The deck is like the definition of inconsistent. You have to like mulligan pretty hard. So
drop it to Keyforge, right, is up.
Yeah, Keyforge got 7 points. Went from a 71 to a 78.
Code Red with a tier 1, 18 months. Thank you, Code Red.
A year and a half of annoying the shit out of me.
Great year and a half.
Appreciate that, Code Red.
85. Forward zoom up to 86. Jeez. 7.
8.
I'm glad to be back on the mat. The TCR mat.
Yeah. The 2-player mat was nice, but we did not design this setup for it.
Yeah.
We designed this setup for this mat. So yeah, this
you can see again. Yep. No more of harsh red patterns.
Yeah.
Slamming your eyeballs. Oh. Yeah, I'm glad we went with this this color scheme for this mat. It worked out very well.
Okay.
I think I wanted to get a color I think I wanted to get red again. But Logan talked me into these colors.
Yeah, we're fortunate enough to have many talented friends,
and we are not like artistically inclined whatsoever.
Who have artistic like proclivities. There's just and so our friend told us, hey, you should try this, and that's what we went with. And yeah, good call.
Turns out colors are difficult.
Yeah, the dude who does our emotes, who knew drawing well went with being able to design color palettes well. Who could have thought? All right, I am going to play Oozle. And I'll say to go ahead.
All right, I'll play Starlines. I'll play Helms and Spears and a Light of the Archons on the Spears. Your turn.
I
The dead spears.
am going to Brobnar your brains out right now. I'm going to play Ogopogo. I am playing Ganger Chieftain.
Alright.
That's a 1. Ogopogo is going to fight Helmsman Spears for 3 damage. I choose not to do 2 damage to something. Foozle is going to reap for 2. I am just going to play Drummernot for 1. I'll play Ganger Chieftain for 2. Ready and reap on 3. Sorry, that's 2 there. Pick it up, play it. Ready, reap. 3, 4, 4.
I think you might just walk this game out.
5, 5. I am going to play Ganger Chieftain over here next to Foozle for the 6th. I'll reap with Foozle. That deck didn't have TMTP, right?
No.
The Mavericks TMTP.
No.
And then I'll play a Bilgum. Alright, I'll say
What?
check with 8.
What a hand.
And I will draw.
Okay, I'll say Untamed. I'll play a Harmonia and gain 1. I'll play a Murmook. I'll shoot the Drummernot
Okay.
for 4. I'll play Wild Spirit on Harmonia. I'll discard Fogbank because it lets you combo for free.
Yeah, without having to fight.
And I'm done.
Alright, so I'll forge for 7.
It's not turkey. It is it's the. Oh my god, he's ripped the innards out of it. It's completely obliterated. He got the squeaky thing out of it. Look at that. That was within the cup. I gained Ember from Murmook. I did not. Need to do that. I also need to clean up all this fuzz.
Bilgum is going to do 2 damage to all of your creatures, which will blow up Harmonia and put 2 damage onto the Murmook.
Good lord.
I am going to say Brobnar again. I'm going to discard this Coward's End. There might be an argument to hang on to the Coward's End in this position. Because I'm going to end up with a lot of damaged Brobnar creatures. If he plays like 5 Saurians or something like that, that's a good way for the Drummernot combo to get turned off. But I'm going to discard it in this situation. I will play Signal Fire. Foozle is going to reap for 2. The Ganger Chieftain is going to fight the Murmook. Z, that sadly tears apart the little guy. Want somebody to think of the little guy. Bilgum Avalanche is going to reap. Ogopogo is going to reap. Drummernot is going to reap and bounce the Ganger Chieftain. That's 1 for each of them. 2 for the Ganger Chieftain and 2 for the Drummernot, and 3 for the Ganger Chieftain and 3 for the Drummernot, and 4 for the Ganger Chieftain and 4 for the Drummernot, and 5 for the Ganger Chieftain, 5 for the Drummernot, and 6 for the Ganger Chieftain, and I'll reap with Bilgum. Okay, I'll say check with 12, and I'll draw 2.
I'll say Saurian. Play Tressarian Legionary. I'll ward it. I'll Phalanx Strike and Exalt to kill the Drummernot.
Okay.
I will play a Tribute. I'll not Exalt because I think there's a point. I'll play Favor of Rex. I don't think Ganger Chieftain works. You may ready and fight with a neighboring creature.
You may trigger
the play effect of a creature as if you had just played it.
Gotcha.
Because there's no.
Yeah, does anybody know how that works?
I can't fight
Ganger Chieftain
with
you can't
one of your creatures, right?
Right.
That would be sweet, but I don't think it does anything because of the way it's worded. How would it allow me to ready my own creature if it's not like there's no neighbor? Like, how would it know what's the neighbor?
You may ready and fight with a neighboring creature.
Try to use a neighbor of Gengar Chieftain.
Right.
And then fail because it's not my creature.
Right.
That's what I would think.
If you had another creature, you could like ward with the Tricerian Legionary,
Yeah.
but that's not the case here.
Okay, well, that's my turn.
Okay, so I will forge for 6. I am, and Bilgun will do 2 damage to all of your creatures. I am going to say Mars. I'll play Amber Conduction units. I will play Nizic Resonator. I will play Flotsam Spike. I am going to discard the sample collection. I'm going to pop the Signal Fire so my Brobnar creatures fight. And the Ogopogo will slam into the Tricerian Legionary. And it's your turn. I'll say check with 8.
That's the game.
It's that easy. Just draw the Gangernaut combo.
Just draw that plus all the best Brobnar creatures in the deck.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Just have all the Brobnar creatures. I drew that opener and I was like, well,
yeah.
Is Gangernaut, is it arguably more powerful than Martian Generosity? Depending on like the rest of the deck. Because imagine you have
just put both in your deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
right.
have both. On average, maybe not, because because all those Gangernaut combo decks did well in the tournament, right? But they didn't win.
Right.
You know.
But Martian Generosity decks did not win that tournament. Now we didn't have
any good ones.
We didn't have Confage.
Confage wasn't in it. Yeah.
And I swear you bungled Fonzie, but that's another story.
I mean, I probably did. I'm not arguing that.
But imagine I have Martian Generosity in my opening hand and I draw like 8, right? Or I draw 10. Is that better? I think it depends on the Mars side, right? Well, that Mars side is not like the side you really want in Martian Generosity, right? Amber Conduction units and I mean, Nizic Resonator is good, but so yeah, it's better from a smoothing effect, right? Like there's probably points where you play Martian Generosity and you win the game. You could turn 1 Drummernaut and not win the game, right? Because your opponent answers it immediately.
There's also games like that where you just literally win because of it. So.
Yeah.
And you win so fast that even if your opponent has a deck that can deal with it, it doesn't matter. Like that deck is, I think it's fine. Like it can do powerful stuff and it's fast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you also you played a Helmsman Spears, right? And it's one of those where it's like if I don't answer the Helmsman Spears, I can lose the game to that. It's just, hey, Uglet, how's it going? It's just not only was it answered, it was like Helmsman Spears answered, and also I'm going to force you to answer my combo.
Yeah. I don't imagine another one of these matches will go just like that. I say, looking at Gengar combo.
I won that roll?
Yes.
Okay.
You have 0 amber, Zach. What are you doing?
Have you watched since the Great Reset? I don't think if you haven't tuned in.
There, you got 5 now.
If you haven't tuned in since we started this tournament,
you've been exposed as a not watcher.
Non-watcher. We reset the amber.
Zach from Call of
Discovery.
Discovery.
There you go. There you go. Busted. It's a shame you had to be discovered as a fraud in front of all of these viewers.
Shame, really.
I don't know if your reputation will ever recover. Sweaty Zach would have tuned in.
Yeah.
Right? Sweaty Zach's looking for any competitive edge that...
Especially if Sweaty Zach is playing against us in a tournament.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm going first. I will play Armsman Molina. Armsmaster Molina. Hopefully that's enough. Go ahead.
Play a conduction unit. Good. Or I'm sorry, I have not going first. So play Mind Warper, discard sample collection. I didn't actually have a combo.
I am going to. I have to play like you could drop it at any time, right?
Definitely.
So, I am going to say Saurian. I will play Tricerian Legionary. I will play Stenopius.
You board something?
Yes, he will ward himself. And then I'm going to Phalanx Strike the Mind Warper. No reason to exalt to go any further. Go ahead and I'll draw 3.
Say Barabnar. I'll pound the Lena.
Okay.
2 with 1 splash. I was thinking actually that was a diametric charge. I was in my brain. I was like, this is a diametric charge, but it's slightly different. I'll play Bilgum, Groggins, Foozle.
I am going to say Saurian, so I'm going to play Paraguardian. I am going to play Favor of Rex. I will ward the Tricerian Legionary. The Tricerian Legionary is going to fight the Foozle off the table. It's just too good.
Yeah.
And then the Stenopius is going to Reap. And I don't think I put any Amber on it. If I had like a Tribute or something like that, I might consider it. So I will draw 2. Go ahead.
Say Dis. I will play a Library of the Danged. I will. Did you reap last turn?
I did with the Stenopius, who is now stunned.
Boom. I'll play a Yerk and discard. For the Signal Fire, and I'll discard Soul Snatcher. I can't remember if this is actually a good Soul Snatcher. I don't know anything about this deck, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like hard to.
Yeah.
The AOA decks are like the height of play it and figure out what it does, right? Like, there's a lot of AOA. Blake from Help from Future Self was playing yesterday, and he was playing with a deck that he opened for Store Champs, and he was talking about it. And I was like, this is the classic style of AOA deck where you're winning, you're not sure how you're winning, your opponent's not sure how they're losing, but that's what's happening in the game. It feels like you could lose at any second to anything slightly more powerful than what you're doing. You're not doing anything particularly broken, you're just somehow winning the game. I am gonna say Star Alliance. I'm gonna play Light of the Archons on Armsmaster Molina. I will stealth mode you, so no actions, and then I'm gonna Reap with Molina, who will now be stunned. Get 3 more 80+ SAS decks with new ratings. And it's your turn. I'll draw 2. It's like check with 6.
So I'll say Dis.
You got 2. Seems like this was a SAS inflation of ratings, right?
Play Bronze Key Imp.
Sounds like more decks gained rating than lost rating, right?
Discard Hysteria. I'll use the library archive, and I'll Reap with Yerk. Your turn.
Bronze Key.
Really hates keys.
I know. Does not like keys.
SAS is optimized for high index. I would agree with that. Yeah, it doesn't really consider lower end strategies. Yeah, or lower end combos or anything like that.
it's assuming it's like almost assuming the board is wiped every turn, sorta, not quite, but yeah, it's
Oh yeah, no, I figured.
Yeah, I mean it's just a.
The SAS mindset in general is.
It's also assuming your opponent's not playing bad cards too, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like unpredictability that happens when you play suboptimal cards. So you just switch to that statement going. Yeah, I mean there's something to be said about decks that are powerful but inconsistent. For instance, Venus Ignishop is an 87. And I would say if that deck is firing on all cylinders, it feels unbeatable. But it's very, very mortal, and it doesn't fire on all cylinders all games.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take an awful turn. I want to do cool things. I am going to. I'll say Untamed. I'm going to Unnatural Selection. I'm going to kill my Stenopius. I'll choose these three. I'll choose. These three. I am going to discard Song of the Wild. I'm going to play Murmook, shoot the Bronze Key Imp. I am going to Mimicry. Yeah, like garbage in there.
Pound, Hysteria, Sample Collection.
You know what? I'll Murmook the Yerk and then pound the Bronze Key Imp with the Mimicry.
It takes one, right?
Yeah, it only take one. And I'm just going to go ahead and key charge for 8 here with the Murmook tax. I guess I could Unnatural pound the Mimicry to pound, then key charge, then play the Murmook.
Because you killed the Yerk. Yes.
And I'd save an Amber that way.
Yep.
Okay. Alright. Go ahead. I will draw 5.
Okay. I'll say Mars.
Oh, this key is forged.
Play Mother Gun. Play Mars Needs Amber. Play Hypno Beam on the Legionary.
You know.
Yeah.
Stop. That's my dinosaur.
Mine now.
We share no houses, right? So
yeah,
you just take the thing that's the most annoying.
So that was Xanthix Harvester. Do I even play this if I can't deal any more Mars? Ever use it? Right. I mean, I guess. It's probably a liability. I'll just discard it. I don't think there's any reason to have it on the table.
I mean, they do try to update SAS, right?
I'll play Mars first.
My biggest complaint with SAS is, or I should say, my biggest complaint with the community's perception of the SAS algorithm is taking it as gospel truth and not examining what's being said, because there's actually a lot of information in a SAS score, right? But people have the tendency to just reduce it down to whatever the score is. Okay, it's like 78, right? It's it's an 82 or whatever, right? Like that's that's my argument with it, right? It's I don't think just because a deck has 85 SAS that it should be a $500 deck, right? But it seems to be I don't even know what the secondary market looks like. Anytime I go look at deck prices, I'm like, people are crazy. I would just buy $500 worth of sealed product before I would buy a single deck, I think. Because I think you would
have more fun with it.
You'd have way more
very
fun.
Least, yeah.
It depends. I mean, it depends on what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
I think at this point, there's no organized play to play in, right? So you might as well just have as much fun with it as you can. So Yeah, and I mean, compared to and nobody else, and then now the thing about SAS is that nobody else is really making an attempt to try to make a scoring system for Keyforge, right? They just happen to be doing it. They're the only people who have kept up with it, right? There were a lot of other scores that have fallen off by the wayside. They didn't want to like try to keep up with the game. So SAS, I do commend them for that, right? Like they're constantly trying to work on the system, right? So I will say Star Alliance. I am gonna play Kirker. I'm gonna play Helmsman Spears, then Kirker, then Garcia, and Armsmaster Molina's gonna unstun. It is turn. I will draw 4.
Say this. I'll play a Lash. I'll play Binding Irons. I will play Exhume. For Yerk. Discard a Sky Booster Squadron. Use the library. I'll unlock Gateway. Say check with 6. Scaling Amber Control would be like Burn Stockpile, Effervescent Principle, 2 match to protect, Interdimensional Graft, I imagine.
I'm gonna gamble here on the book of LEQ. I'll say Star Alliance. I'll play Molina, and then I'll book. So it is an Untamed card. Untamed is now my active house. I will play Molfin. I will play Bramble Links, and then I'll Fog Bank, and hopefully you don't have the combo. Maybe a mistake, but we'll see. I'll drop a chain and draw 3.
Torch. Say Brobnar.
Combo me.
I'm a Coward's End. And then combo you.
Well, you had Fog Bank, so you could have.
I feel like killing stuff while I have the chance.
Yeah, well, Molina and Molfin are both hazardous, right? So it's not easy.
So play Chieftain. No, play Drummer. Play Chieftain.
1,
Ready.
2.
Play Ready Reap.
3, 3.
Play Ready Reap.
4, 4.
Play Ready Reap.
5.
Then this will be
5.
6. I could just keep this in my hand. Well, I want to threaten. Play Ready Reap.
6, and
then keep it in my hand.
Yeah, you could play it. It just wouldn't do anything.
I could keep it to protect it against like remove the combo. Right. I am done. So check with 6.
Okay, I am going to say Untamed. I'm going to play Harmonia and a Ghost Hawk and a Rustnar. And it is your turn. I will drop a chain and draw 3.
Alright, Forge.
Yep. They consider Red Alert a board wipe. Red Alert is very disappointing in Archon. I know, because I played... The deck I played at PAX last year had 2 Red Alerts. And it, like... It didn't do anything.
I will say...
That's true.
I'm going to say this. And... All the week, the Harmonia. Play Anguish. And then I'm going to Poltergeist the book.
Yikes.
Which is totally sweet. And so I could take a Mars turn. I'll Mother Gun to do a damage to the Ghost Hawk, I guess, and then I'll play Flotsam Spike.
Or Ethan.
Oh, I could have used the library at some point.
I like. I will swing. I will I will jockey for position with Red Alert, right? But I'm not usually planning around Red Alert. All right, my turn.
Yeah.
I am going to say Saurian. I will play Diplomacy. So Anytime a creature would fight, next turn it's exalted. I am going to tribute. I will not use this. Or I will not exalt for tribute. I'm going to chant of hubris. And then I'm going to Phalanx Strike to do 2 damage to the drummer. And I will drop chain and draw 4. I think I got crushed by the Binding Irons. Or like immediately, I was in a clunky part of the... I had like a clunky hand for several turns, and I was just also a card down. So.
I'll say Brobnar and pick up the archive.
Oh yeah, and I try to play around red alert damage too, right? You can, I mean, like, if your opponent has 2 creatures, you can play your creature strategically so that...
Chieftain fight rest now.
It will be exalted.
That's
English
fine.
will be exalted.
I accept this.
Okay.
Thanks for that follow there, Victor Thaden.
Victor Hayden.
Victor
T. Hayden.
Victor Thaden.
Victor
Obviously.
Thaden.
I'll play Ogopogo. I will Reap with Drummerknot. Bounce the Ganger Chieftain. I will play Calfine. I'll play Ganger Chieftain already and fight the Ghost Hawk. That will exalt.
Exalted.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Yep. I'll bounce the Ganger Chieftain. I'll play Ganger Chieftain already. The Drummerknot. I will Reap Drummerknot.
There have got to be better Ganger Knot.
That's
combo
what, 2
decks out there. Yeah.
Drummerknot uses.
You put 2 in the Chieftain, 2 in the.
I'm gonna Drummerknot to bounce my Drummerknot.
For 3.
3. I'm gonna burn the stockpile.
Oh my god! Look at the plays.
I'm gonna play Drummerknot for 4. Pick up. Play. Ready. Reap. 5. Pick up. Play. Ready. Reap. For 6. Pick up. Play. Ready. Reap. And it's my turn.
Apothecary Delegate. From the Mars Shadows. Was that is that your deck or is that what kind of cam setup? So Victor, we actually have a camera set up walkthrough on our YouTube channel. It's about 3.5 minutes, and that will give you the rundown. But the short answer is there are effectively 3 cameras. With some green screens and some other stuff. So
yeah, board wipes and Drummernauts.
I think we did the walkthrough was back in what, June?
Yes,
It's back in June. It might be its own. It like a lot of our stuff is just Keyforge videos and board game videos.
It's in a playlist with. I think it's in the Misc Board Games playlist.
Yeah. So yeah, you should be able to find it there.
Okay. A bunch of Logitechs.
Yeah, I got nothing.
All right.
I got some Light of the Archons, which are too late now.
Yep. They didn't have what it takes to beat this deck.
This deck's pretty good at trapping dogs, but not so good at stopping Ganger Knot. Looks like Player Hurt's got a link for you.
Cool. Nice.
Unless you rickrolled you.
It's very possible also. Alright, Storvikar Longsheen. You proceed. That was actually an impressive-ish showing.
Yeah.
The way it was able to set that up.
Yeah, just I mean Coward's End plus Ganger Knot. Man, it's so effective.
That was a pretty quick match, yeah. Alright, now we got Ardreth versus offensively powerful Toki. This is exciting.
This could be a slog.
This could be a slog compared to the other one, for sure.
Double Martian Generosity Drummer Chieftain deck.
Jeez.
So the big thing about Martian Generosities, how many Mars first, how many Proliferators, how many Xanthix Harvesters, right?
That's a big deal.
Because I think that's probably one of the more defining characteristics of like the great Martian Generosity decks, in my opinion, because you can go from basically 0 amber to having a relevant Martian Generosity pretty quickly, right? Key abduction. You don't need key abduction to win with Martian Generosity, right? It's the library access Nepenthe Seed conundrum. Helper Bot's good with Martian Generosity too, right? Because you could always binate Rupture into Helper Bot Martian Generosity, right? That would be pretty good. Key abduction will certainly close out the game. I think. Oh yes, the teal ones. These are the same. These are the same sleeves I had on them when they were in Texas. So. Yeah, exactly. Martian Generosity. I mean, Martian Generosity is not balanced, right? And it's definitely not balanced out of house. So. Yeah, you don't need key abduction. It's the lands thing, right? When you just have your whole deck in your hands, it doesn't matter if you win the game next turn or the turn after. You'll just win the game typically because you're doing unfair things at that point. So we bought it so quickly. Left culum Yarborough Fairway athlete. How much was it going for? 81. So it's got Ginka. See, this is the type. I mean, Mars needs Amber's fine. Oh, got four helper bots there.
Yeah, that's the thing. The thing about it is 4 helper bots. Also,
and Dysania, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, what if you Dysania an archives for like 3?
Yeah.
And then helper bot Martian Generosity. Because then you just get to helper bot everything outside of a double routine job.
Archimedes with bouncing Death Quirk too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Ronnie.
pretty crazy.
Yeah,
that's got some insane plays.
But this is the type of Mars that's like it doesn't do anything.
$200. That's probably worth $200.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Yeah,
it's probably fine. But my big deal is that Mars doesn't do anything unless you're Martian Generosity.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. That's always the downside. I mean, the thing about
the helper bots kind of get around that a little bit, right?
Yeah, because you can play some of the stuff here and there just so you don't have to call Mars as often, or you at least have some Mars stuff on the table. That's one of the big things about helper bot or phase shift was that Mars stuff almost always wants to start the turn untapped with some sort of Martian. And so when you can play them out of house, you can get to the Mars turn with something in play. Well, you won that
first. All right.
Won that die roll. Well, the thing is, AOA Logos is really good at archiving stuff here and there, right? So you could always end up with like a helper bot in archives, and you don't want to play it yet. You've got stuff like Exhume. You can Exhume. We need to see if there's like a Dis Mars Logos deck where you like Exhume helper bots to Martian Generosity during this turn. I don't think this hand is quite it. Toki.
One mulligan as well.
Double Exhume the color. Bryn. This deck is very good at controlling the board. But I don't think this hand does not go. It does not zoom. It does not. It's not awful. I'll play 3 cards, but I won't be happy about it. I think I'd rather try to find some of my Logos efficiency. Right, I find like the Igor or the Tau Tau Vapors and see more cards. I think mulliganing here is correct. I had Deepwood Druid in my hand.
All right,
down 5. Yeah, no, here we go.
I think Perplexing Sophistry is a fine first turn.
You will rue the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, my turn.
Yep.
I am going to say this. I'm going to Infernus Perplexing Sophistry. And all Binding Irons.
Great.
And I will draw 4.
I'll say... Oh, God. It's so bad.
What's so bad?
This hand.
Yeah, I could see that too, right? Like an untamed Logos Mars. I'm sorry, yeah. You could, I mean, there might be an untamed Dis Mars. Or untamed Logos Mars. Martian Generosity decks that are probably fine.
I'm gonna say Shadows. I'm gonna play Gamgee and I'll discard Brand and discard Lights Out.
Discarding Brand.
Yeah, I mean you have no Amber and so
You didn't want to give
you
me
have
an
an
Amber?
Infernus
You don't want to give me an Amber?
sitting there ready to fight him. I don't want to bounce the Infernus to your hand just to get it purged again.
Alright, I am going to say Logos. I'm going to play Igor. I will pitch Dr. Millie and Deepwood Druid. I am going to Code Monkey, Igor, and Infernus. And I will Thorium Plasmate, but it won't do anything to Gamgee. And it is your turn. I will draw 2.
Oh boy, I'll say Mars. Play Sky Booster. Mars first. It's Ready and Reap with Sky Booster. Play Sky Booster. On Mars first. It's Ready and Reap with Sky Booster. Play Sky Booster. Your turn.
Okay, I am gonna see Untamed. I'll play Fangtooth.
Too many cards. I think I drew too many cards last turn.
Yeah, don't worry about it then.
Okay.
I will Unnatural Selection. I am gonna Murmook Gamgee. I'm gonna Murmook the Sky Booster. And then Fangtooth kills the Code Monkey. Turn, I will draw 4.
Well,
This deck.
yep. I'll say this. I will collar a Murmook.
Okay.
I will call the week a Murmook.
Pocket Infernus.
I'll play Exhume for Brand. I'll give you 1. And I'm done.
How did it die?
I called the week.
Called the week. Okay. Alright. I am going to say this. I'll put my archives into my hand. I am going to play Infernus. I'm going to get Exhume and Mars first. I am going to Hysteria. Play Infernus. I will get Call of the Week and Mars first. I will Festering Touch nothing. I will Exhume the Code Monkey. And the Code Monkey's going to die to the Fangtooth. And it's your turn. I'll draw 1. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'll say Shadows. Play.
Blending opponent keeps lights out. I want him to bounce my creatures.
Yeah, he has
right?
no problem with that.
Mermooks and Infernuses and Code Monkeys and
Everything's bad
Igors.
for me. Yeah.
Like, I want all that stuff to get bounced in this deck.
Play Play Brand. I'll play.
I mean, it's another thing you have to keep in mind with Infernus is you
Throwing
want to try
stars.
to, you don't want to make your opponent's deck better
Yeah, that's
accidentally, right? Like it's super easy to like purge all of one house. I still want them to have clunky draws later in the game, so trying to purge actions throughout all the different houses helps out. So, you throwing stars.
Yep.
All right, I am going to say. I'll say Logos. I'll play Igor. Discard Lilithal and Bramblelynx. I'll play Anomaly Exploiter. I have to discard the Twin Bolt here because if I don't, then get to steal with Brend. Even if I shoot these two, the Fangtooth will kill Brend. So Fangtooth's going to kill Ronnie, and I will draw 2.
Alright, I'll say Mars.
It's fun watching us play a deck we know really well. Yeah, I got a lot of reps with Ardreth at this point.
I'll play Sky Booster and I'll exterminate to kill the Brend. Steal 3.
No.
Your turn.
Can't stop that. I can Infernus and stop this key, or I can just make you pay the 7. That deck has 2 Exhumes, right?
It does.
I think I just take this opportunity to Exhume the Bryn, so I don't have to play around it. So I will say this. I'll put my archives into my hand. I am going to Infernus and Eterome. Yeah, Bryn's out of here. I'm like tempted to send Ronnie to hell too. Yeah, get out of here, Ronnie. I will play a fair game. It's possible this is a mistake. I have 3 Untamed cards in my hand. You have no Mars, so I hit no Mars. I hit Logos, so you get 1. I don't have the Hysteria is nowhere in sight. And the way this game is going, you're not going to have a board full of creatures.
Yeah.
So, all right, and that's your turn. Fangtooth kills the Igor. Go ahead. I will draw 2.
Forge. I'll say this. I'll play a Yerk. Discard Throwing Stars. Play Not Finished with You. I think you've
purged anybody.
Yeah.
You might not be finished with.
Yeah. And I'll unlock Gateway.
Okay.
Good turn.
I am set up to be swindled here.
There are a lot of Amber Pips gone in my deck.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm set up to be swindled here. I think I just have to take an Untamed turn as not going to be good. I will just pitch this Cauldron Boil because I'm trying to play around your swindle. I'll play Deepwood Druid and Rust Gnar. I'll play this Murmook and shoot my own Deepwood Druid, and then end of the turn, Fangtooth will take out the Rust Gnar. And it is your turn. I will
say Mars. I'm gonna play a Mother Gun and I'll Carpet Flux him.
Dead.
Your turn.
Okay. I will say this. I'm gonna Infernus you. That's a Flotsam. That's a Not Finished with You. I am going to Hysteria. Let's get Unlocked Gateway and Throwing Stars? Collar of Subordination? I'll get the Collar. I think there's a chance that you use the Collar at some point later in the game. I'll play Lilithal, and then Fangtooth will kill the Infernus. And it is your turn. I will draw.
Yep.
It's possible I should start infernusing some of my bad cards away. So
I'll say Dis.
No cards in the deck by the end.
I'll play Dust Imp. I'll play Soul Keeper. I will Exhume. That may be the only one that makes sense. I guess there's also Shockworm. Angels dies of Fangtooth. Sky Booster Squadron is okay. Yerk.
It's the George strat. George pioneered the strat. St. George. I don't know how many people here. We haven't talked about St. George in quite some time, but
Good.
The patron saint of killing your own creatures.
I think his deck was this house combo as well.
Yeah. It was Mars Disc Shadows. And he would it was genius. He would play like a Scullion and say, oh oops, I guess it has to kill itself and put it in his discard pile, right?
Yeah.
Because he didn't actually want to keep any creatures on the table, so yeah, Code Red's been around long enough to know St. George, so. Alright, I am going to say Logos. I'm going to play Tau Vapors and draw 2. I am going to play Quantum Finger Trap. I will play Dr. Millie, archive a card. I'll play Cutthroat Research.
I too lost to him. I lost to him twice in that Vault Tour. So.
And then I will draw up, and then end of the turn, Fangtooth is going to kill Dr. Millie.
Oh, yeah. I'll say Shadows and Swindle. We've swindled.
Makes sense to me. Alright, so I am going to say Untamed. I'll play Unnatural Selection. I will play Feathered Shaman.
Did you miss the archive on Tata?
I did, yes. So I should have had something like that archived. I would have one extra card. I did forget the Tau. Alright, I would now have my archives in my hand to say Untamed. I am going to Murmook and shoot the Shockworm. I'll play Bramble Links. I will play. To play this other Murmook. I guess I do. I'll play this other Murmook and shoot this Bramble Links, and then end of the turn, Fangtooth is going to shoot the Feathered Shaman. And it's your turn. I will draw. You keys cost 8. Yeah.
I will say Shadows. Play Bird of Investors. Play Dust Chronicles. Archive a card. Your turn.
Alright. Okay, I will say Dis. I am going to Reap with Lilithal. I am going to Infernus. I don't think you're going to have much left in the way of shadows when I'm done with this. I'll get Exhume and Dust Chronicles.
Don't feel like that the fact that it doesn't have keys means that it's not in control of the game, because it 1000% is.
I am going to Hysteria.
The things that I have on the board right now are the result of all the cards that are now purged, or the keys that I have, the amber that I have. What is this?
That was captured on the Lilithal.
Oh, okay.
I will Infernus. I think I am going to stop this key. I don't think I have a reason to.
Yeah.
Let's get the Dust Chronicles. Let's get the Soul Keeper. Then I'll play Festering Touch. I'll play Eterome. I'll play Lilithal. And then Fangtooth, I'll shoot. And it's your turn. I'll draw 2.
It is 15 cards. What's 15 cards? Is that right?
Yeah, I purged just one, the first Infernus.
That's right. Alright, I'll say this.
Because I had mulliganed and then you discarded a card from my hand, so I only had a 4-card
Play
card.
play Tourette, play Dustin. Go ahead. Get the stupid discard pile shuffled.
At some point I gotta start reaping with creatures to actually win the game. I can reap, I can threaten, you would forge. Because the Fangtooth would kill the Dust Imp. Could make you forge for 7, I guess. I think that's fine. I'll Cauldron Boil. I'll Murmook and shoot Charette. And then in the turn, Fangtooth will kill the Dust Imp. Forge for 7.
Okay.
And I will draw 2.
Say Mars. I will use Mother Gun to shoot the Eterome for 4. I'll play Proliferator, I'll play a Mindworm, play Resonator, I'll give Proliferator a Ray Gun. Your turn.
Okay. I am going to say gonna say Logos. I'll play Dr. Millie. I am going to Thorium Plasmate the Proliferator between the 2. I am going to Thorium Plasmate the Nizik Resonator right where he is. I will not exploit to kill the Resonator.
Archive a card?
Oh yeah, archive one with Millie. And then Fangtooth kills the Mindworm. I didn't get. I had 2. I had 2 from. I don't think I'm missing anything. So check with 7, and I will go.
Mirtani, you're 1. 5 months.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
It's telling us to archive for Millie.
Yeah. Much appreciated. I'll say Shadows. I will Lights Out the Lilithal and the Dr. Millie. I'll play Furtive Investors. I'll play Lethal Distraction, the last of my Amber Pips. I'll play Gamgee. Go ahead.
I will forge for 7.
Yep. Actually, I'll discard Gamgee. There's no reason to play that.
Okay, I will put my archives into. Wait, why do I have all these cards in my. Dr. Millie? What happened? What have I done?
I put Dr. Millie and a thing in your hand. With Lights Out.
That's why I
you just forgot. That's
why I have 8 cards.
Okay.
Alright. Alright, I am going to say this. I'm going to put the archives in my hand. I am going to. Exhume. Infernus. That's some pips. Alright. Raygun is gone. Furtive Investors is gone. It's possible I need to get rid of the Lights Out now. I am going to Hysteria. Hit you with Infernus again. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and get this. And I will play Lilithal, and Infernus will get shot by the Fangtooth. Your turn.
Alright, I'll say Mars. I'll Mother Gun, shoot Lilithal for 4. Play Shockworm, Sky Booster, discard, Exterminate.
Okay.
Your turn. Yes, no more discard.
Alright, I am going to say Untamed. I'm going to play Deepwood Druid to heal Lilithal. Value. I'll play Mystic Murmook and shoot a Sky Booster. I'll play a Deepwood Druid. I'll play Murmook and shoot a Sky Booster. And then end of the turn, Fangtooth's going to take out the Shockworm. I will draw 3.
Play this. Pick up the archive. All. No, I'll say
the highest purge count with Ardreth.
I'll say Mars.
This is actually probably approaching it, right?
I'm gonna Mother Gun Lothal for 2.
Okay.
And then discard these cards.
Okay. My turn.
Yep.
All right. I will say Untamed. I am going to reap 4 times.
19 is the purge count.
2, 4. I will discard Unnatural Selection. Deepwood Druid actually gets to heal Lilithal. And then I will kill this Deepwood Druid to Fangtooth.
I'll say I'll say Shadows. I'm going to discard Gamgee. I'll Throwing Stars twice. I'll do 2. Oh no, I could hit a Gamgee once. So I could play the Gamgee, do 2/2/2. So just kill the Gamgee to get 1.
Yeah.
Gonna need that 1.
And you did 2 to each of the Mermigs.
Yeah, and I'm done.
You gonna bark? Think about it, aren't you? You heard the door. I heard the door. Go ahead and bark.
It.
We all heard it. We all heard it. Now I'm waiting.
He's not gonna bark. He would have barked already. See?
Are you sure? This was your chance. This was your chance to bark. Okay. Yeah. All right. I am going to say Logos. I am going to Igor. I'll put that into my hand. I'll discard Rustnar and a Mermuk. I am going to Telltale Vapors. And I will archive. I will Twin Bolt and shoot Deepwood Druid and Lilithal. I will Code Monkey. Mermix away. I will Cutthroat Research. I will play Dr. Millie. And I will say check with 9. Fangtooth is going to kill a Millie.
Okay.
I will draw 4, 3, and then shuffle.
Swindle.
Yep.
Ooh.
I'll forge. So draw. Okay, I am going to say Dis. Lilithal is going to reap. Capture 1. I am going to play an Eterome and a Lilithal. I will Binding Irons you. I will play a fair game.
Mars. You get 2.
Okay, so 2. Charette, Yerk, Dust Imp, Resonator. Logos, you get 1. had the Hysteria there, but I didn't want to Hysteria this stuff and possibly lose the game there. And then Hysteria, or is the time of Hysteria over? I think there's a very distinct chance the time of Hysteria has come to an end. So I'm going to discard Hysteria, and I will draw 5.
Where does?
I guess technically I could have discarded the Hysteria before I fair game.
Yeah.
If I wasn't going to play to make sure that I didn't hit it. So. All right, go ahead.
All right. Say Dis. Play Dust Imp. Play Charette. Play Yerk. Yerk will discard a card. Oh, I want to pick this up too. I will play Poltergeist on the Anomaly Exploiter. Kill Lilithal. Dead. I will Library of the Danged to archive a card. How's it?
Okay, so I think I actually lose. No, I can save this. Nope, I lose. Because I can't get I don't have a 2-power creature. Actually. So, the thing is, I can't stop the 6. Because I can say Untamed. I can play the 2 Mermooks. I still have to kill the Dust Imp. You go to 8, and you still Forge. I can't stop another Amber that way. I've got the Infernus. No, the Infernus is in the hole? Yes, I got Infernus in the hole. Alright, never mind. Alright, I will draw. I need to stop punting games at Ardreth.
Yeah.
In high pressure situations. Alright. So, I am going to... do I have enough Amber Pips? I don't actually think I have enough Amber Pips. So I think that's what happened. Yeah, I don't actually have enough Amber Pips. I don't have enough Amber Pips. Dust Imp. I made a mistake. I didn't purge the Swindle. I should have purged the Swindle. That's where I lost the game, right? Because he stole 6 Amber this game. You'll notice I don't have a key, this 3rd key to win the game, which would have been that key. I don't have 2 pips in my yard. I've only got the 1. So that's only 2. I still have to kill the Dust Imp. I could say Logos. I could even kill the Dust Imp during this turn and then cut through the 2 of it. But I don't have the Mermook on the table to stop you to make the key cost 7. So, yeah, that is game. The best I can do is say Logos and play Tau Tau. Sorry, that's like this was in the hand. I don't even hit the 2-power creature. I think they may all be dead. Killed them all. Yeah. All right, you got it.
All right. Oof.
Dang.
Ooh-wee.
Misplay. I was too busy. I got tunnel visioned on the pips there when I should have hit the Swindle.
I got bad news for me playing Ardreth.
Yeah.
To try to get a win.
That's like, while this deck is really good and very powerful, just watch my glorious games, right? It's one of those. It's the exact same thing where it's like you make one small mistake and you lose the game with Ardreth.
Okay. Well, here we go.
It's not. I wasn't. I completely lost track of Poltergeist in there, right? Because I looked at your hand and didn't see any Amber Pips. I think maybe. I mean, the thing is, Toki's really good at killing creatures.
Yeah.
There's not a. I didn't really have a time.
Until you had purged the stuff that kills them, it's pretty good at killing them.
I didn't really have a time earlier in the game to reap for
no,
a bunch.
No, it never really gave that opportunity.
That was. This is actually where all that adaptive experience versus Ardreth comes into play.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy game though. So you had one opportunity to purge the swindle, I think. Yeah.
I didn't take it. I was trying to stop a key, I think. Or I was trying to make you like pay maximum for the key. I think I should have just gotten rid of the swindle. I like even said to myself at one point I have to get rid of that swindle because
that's a big deal against Ardreth, I think.
Yeah, if you get the game down to the point where you can just swindle like every couple of turns, then is upside
down. Yeah, you gotta hedge your bets there, boy.
I don't think so. Normally you get to string together a bunch of creatures. That didn't happen that game.
We go back before this game. Could be a long one.
It's one of the a really good way to beat Ardreth is to use the creatures you have on the table to reap. Ardreth has a finite amount of amber control, right? Number of pips in your deck plus, I guess, 6 is the total amount of amber that it can control in a game. Plus cutthroat research here or there, give or take. Cutthroat's not guaranteed. But because your only amber control are the Mermooks, so I guess it's actually the number of amber pips in your deck plus the number of amber pips in Ardreth. It's possible I should have been purging some of my own stuff earlier, right? Because you end up in situations like that game where I need to purge some amber pips to win the game, but Justin doesn't have any amber pips left in the deck at that point, right? So if I had left him some, like, lethal distraction, for instance, it's fine with throwing stars, I guess. But like furtive investors never would have generated amber, right? Boxcars, 9.
Yeah, it's just an amber pip.
Dusk Chronicles. I don't really care if Justin draws extra cards. I kind of want him to draw extra cards to play extra cards, right? So you can inference them.
I think this is.
It looks like a mulligan. So the Fangtooth dictates what creatures get to stay on the table. And so you get to, it basically kills an opponent's creature. Now, Justin was playing around Fangtooth, right? That's one thing he was doing. He was discarding creatures aggressively. So the Fangtooth would have to kill mine. And there are a couple of creatures in here that you don't really want to get Fangtooth. You don't want to Fangtooth, like Brend or Dust Imp. One of the issues that I found playing Ardreth in an Archon tournament was Rad Penny was everywhere. Rad Penny
loves getting
Fangtooth.
Yeah.
So that deck doesn't have a clean answer for Rad Penny. I wish it did.
Yeah, I guess you could like fair game and then purge it. That's it.
Yeah. The only or you can crazy killing machine and discard it. So hopes of getting last place. Hilarious.
All right. Up first, I will play Edero.
Alright, so I am going to start by saying Shadows. I'll throwing stars and do a damage to Edero. And then I am going to Dusk Chronicles and archive a card. And it's your turn.
So Logos will play Anomaly Exploiter. I'll play Cutthroat Research and Thorium Plasmate. Your turn.
I will say this. I'm going to play Library of the Danged. I will play Not Finished With You and a Dust Imp. And if your turn, I will. Yeah, Doublet.
I'll say this. I will reap with Edoram to kill the dust imp. I'll play Infernus to purge stuff. Those two. I'll play Hysteria. And I'll play Infernus to get the other two. Play Lilithal, I'll play Edoram. Your turn.
Okay, I am going to say Mars. I'll put my archives in my hand. I will Carpet Flotsam. I am going to Sky Booster. I will put a red planet ray gun on it. I will Mars first it. Ready and reap with it, and then I'll shoot Lilithal for 1 and bounce. Not crazy about losing the red planet ray gun there, but I don't really want Cinema 2. I'll play Sky Booster. Oh, and I reaped with it, so I do get an 1. And it is your turn. I will draw 3.
Let's say Untamed. I will play a Murmook and shoot the Sky Booster.
Dead.
I'll play Unnatural Selection. I will play Bramble Links. And the question is, do I play this Fangtooth? I think I'm going to discard this Fangtooth.
I think in this situation it's probably fine to discard it.
Because I don't want you to just like play a Brand, and then all of a sudden I'm having to answer a Brand.
Yeah, every turn.
Yeah.
For the rest of the game. Alright, I am going to say Shadows. I am going to Dusk Chronicles. I will archive a card. I will Perplexing Sophistry. Draw, discard. And I will go ahead and just lights out them. It clunks up your hand some. And I will say check with 9. It is your turn. I will draw 3.
I think, since I can't stop this key, I just want you to pay, so I'll play a Deepwood Druid, I'll play Bramble Links, and I'll play a Murmook. And you force for 7.
Okay. 7.
What if I don't purge 20 cards? Does that deck just win even harder?
Probably.
Yeah.
I actually don't think it gets better than this. I'm going to swindle. The prognosticating the next few turns. You just took an untamed turn you didn't want to take. So the chance of you just using the creatures on the table and just reaping, very low.
Yeah.
Right. So I think this is the best opportunity to just swindle right there. I'll draw. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll say Logos. I'll play Vapors. Draw 2.
Vape.
Or archive a card. I will play Igor. For a Druid and Rustnar.
Yeah, hitting the dust up is pretty good there. I agree. Player hurt.
Play Millie.
I probably would have prioritized it more myself.
Twin bolts. I'll just shoot my stuff. Even though this kind of sets up your throwing stars, but
Wish I had.
Yeah. Thanks for the follow, the Crystal Hive.
Crystal Hive. Crystal Hive streams on Saturdays. And some other nights too, but I think Keyforge mostly on Saturdays. Anybody in this channel does not follow them, follow them. You're looking for more Keyforge content, so. It's like kinda mediocre turn. Guess I can make it a good turn. I'll say Dis. I'll archive Mindworm. I will play Yerk, pitch Brend. I am going to call the weak on Igor. I will collar Thanks. I don't think that matters. I will exhume Brend. Rather gateway there. But I don't have it, so I will say check with 7 and draw 6.
Oh, did he announce what his archiving?
Oh, did I say Mindworm? That's for the viewers.
I wasn't even listening, honestly. I'll say Dis. I will play Binding Irons. Chain ya. I'll pick up the archive as well. I will play Lilthal. Play Infernus. I'll exhume Infernus while I'm at it. Alright. I'm going to get Swindle. I'm going to get Exhume.
It's not a bad mind games tactic, yeah.
Gonna get Bloxam. Gonna get Sophistry. And then I will play a fair game.
I actually have a balanced hand. You get 2 no matter what. Here. Poltergeist.
Okay.
So I've got 2, 2, 2.
I have a Murmook and a Finger Trap, and you got none. Is that from?
Okay.
Your turn.
Alright, so I do not forge here. I am going to say this. We're going to put a Soul Keeper on Brend. You're going to Library of the Danged something. Yerk is going to Reap. And that's a gateway.
That's rough,
3.
dog. That's rough.
And I will drop a chain and draw 2. Here.
Yep. I'll say Untamed. I'll play Unnatural Selection. I will play a Feather Shaman and I'll blow it up. Your turn.
The Mermix, man, they just
They're so mad.
Too mad. Alright, so I'll forge for 7. There is.
Does look like Ardrith about to get 2-0'd. It was too much stealing.
I will say Dis. I'm gonna library. I will exhume Brend.
I'll also say me playing Ardrith does not count as an Ardrith loss. This is a very different piloting system. But being able to get an Exhume Brend off Antoki is so powerful.
Yeah.
It's just...
Alright, go ahead.
It's just very good. I will say... Logos. I'll play a Finger Trap. Play Killing Machine. Play Dr. Millie. Done. Yeah, so I wanted him... I wanted to just be able to get Brend. But, yeah. If I could have gotten Brend, I would have.
Brend has not been exposed.
No, he's not exposed to being purged.
Alright, so I will pick up my archives and say Mars. I will play Mother Gun.
It's funny because like this deck has 2 Hysterias in it. You don't normally want to play a Brend against Hysteria deck, but you're fine playing Brend against Ardrith because if it gets Hysteria, you don't really care.
Yeah,
you'll just play it again.
Exactly,
because it's a threat as long as it's there.
Right, as long as it exists.
Yeah.
Alright. I will play Shockworm, Resonator, Mindworm, Proliferator. I'll Exterminate, Proliferator will kill Dr. Millie. I actually needed the Sky Booster there so I could exterminate the Brend. And it is your turn. I'll drop the last chain, draw 2.
I'll say this. Flame Furnace.
Why not Brend? Brend, it has to be less than. Exterminate, I believe, is less than.
Yeah, it's less than. You have to have a 4 power creature to kill Brend.
Exactly. That's why I needed the Sky Booster. The Sky Booster would kill the Brend.
Get Mars first. I'll play Hysteria. I guess I could Festering Touch first.
Get them.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Hysteria. Flame Furnace. We'll get Gateway and All the Week.
Okay, I am going to say Mars. I am going to Mother Gun the crap out of that Infernus. And then I'll play Sky Booster, Zizix, Nizik Resonator, and Proliferator.
Okay.
And I will draw one. Go ahead.
Play Mars, or play Untamed.
And Justin does not forge here because the Nizik Resonator makes his keys cost 10 in this case. So
I'm going to blow it up.
It's dead now.
I'm blow up the Proliferator.
Proliferator's dead now.
I'm going to play Cauldron Boil. I'm going to play a Feather Shaman. I guess I got to play that there.
Yeah, that's typically
better.
Yeah. Unless you got Code Monkey lined up. I usually try to keep the 2 Mermooks next to each other because of Code Monkeys.
Better. Yeah, that is inconsequential, basically.
Yeah. The Feathered Shaman, I think I have generated wards with the Feathered Shaman in maybe 2 games ever with Hard Dreth. So, okay. I am going to say Shadows. I'm going to play a Gamgee. I am going to play a Brend. I am going to Furtive Investors. Get nothing. I'm going to Lethal Distraction the Brend. And Throwing Stars. So kill the Brend, get 1. Because it takes 2 extra damage from the Lethal Distraction. And then I'll do a damage to the Mermook and the Alright. And it is your turn. I will draw 2, and then shuffle.
Okay, I'll say Untamed. Play
Brend, Exhume, Brend, Obsidian Forge, and
Thank you.
Good lord.
I will Reap with Mermook. Play Bramble Lynx. Oh god, stunned. I guess I could fight that first.
Okay.
Then Reap. Then play Bramble Lynx. Then Reap. Then Ward. And then Reap. And then Fangtooth will kill Gamgee.
Okay, I am going to say Mars. Pretty funny. I'm gonna blast the Feather Shaman. I am going to play Nizik Resonator. I will play Glixel Proliferator. I will actually I'll Reap with the Sky Booster Squadron before I play any of these, and then replay it. Then the Resonator Proliferator. I'll Mars first the Proliferator to ready and reap with it. And archive this Shockworm. And I will say check with 9, and I will draw 3.
Okay.
You will forge for.
All right. I don't think I can stop. I'll play Tata Vapors.
You got the Cutthroat. It takes 2, but
yeah,
you don't have enough.
I didn't have it anyway, so. All right. Well, goodbye, Ardrith.
Yeah, Ardrith.
Goodbye, Bracket Buster. And maybe a lot of brackets are getting busted all over the place.
Yeah. So I have come to the conclusion that Ardrith is an excellent adaptive deck, but a very poor Archon deck. Not very poor.
It's
Ardrith it's got polarizing matchups. I don't think Ardrith can lose to your average Saurian deck, right? But decks that do not have Saurians in them, Ardrith finds itself struggling against, right? You need your opponent to hubristically generate amber on their creatures and then dare you to take it from them. And Ardrith is like, I will accept your dare.
Toki is your coin flip bracket. That's pretty cool, actually.
Nah.
Toki is good, especially it's good in a best 2 out of 3.
Toki has Toki's got some gumption.
It's got some good plays in it.
Yeah,
Toki's got some. It's one of my favorite decks.
Toki's got some sneaky stuff going on.
I'm super excited to get into the next round. The next round I think is gonna be one of the spiciest.
Yeah, I think the games this round have been.
They've been spicy for sure.
Yeah,
but they're gonna get extra spicy.
Yeah,
they're gonna get extra spice. We don't have a lot left. It's like we're about halfway through this round.
What's on the docket for Sunday?
Sunday we got Catherine Use Architect III makes their return.
Regital Zed Jakar is one of the few speed sigil decks that we have.
The deck we played last night has speed sigil. What deck was it? Was it Cal that had it? Monday.
Bitterly Gross Cal?
Yeah, Cal had it.
Cal had it?
Yeah, but it's dead now.
Oh yeah.
Innkeeper took care of it. And then we have the Two-Faced Attorney versus Venus Ignishop. Yeah.
We got Two-Face right here. It's been a while since we had looked at this deck. But
can it beat an 87 SAS deck?
So
I don't know.
It does have Snecklifter.
Ah, okay, that's something.
Okay, so Snecklifter is spicy versus Venus, right? Because you get to steal the artifacts.
It's gonna take the Anomaly Explorer, or not the auto encoder.
Yeah,
and then be just beast mode coded deck with auto encoder.
Right. Plus, I mean, you're talking like double Ghostly Hand in this deck.
Yeah.
It actually has scaling Amber Answers and like, or at least it's got like Unguarded Camp, right? So, Lomir Flame Fist. It can steal a decent chunk here.
Where's Dave at? It's a double gray matchup. Look at that.
It's been a while since we've played Two-Faced Attorney. But we'll see. I think it's a deck that's subjected to variance because it's Brobnar Mars Shadows with no real efficiency. So I think you just end up getting clunky bad hands every once in a while. And the deck doesn't feel like it does anything. So, but spicy stuff going on in this deck. Spicy stuff coming up Sunday.
Yeah, really excited. These games are real fun.
What are we doing?
I was thinking on Friday we could do.
For whatever reason, I get way less mad in these Archon games, way less tilted than
I don't know.
Well, because maybe it's because we know the decks better. Maybe or
that was a case of that, but I
guess in mass mutation. So I guess a lot of my anger from mass mutation stems from me not understanding the matchup, right? Because you're like, I have an answer for this. In those games, it was like with Ardreth, it was like I made a play mistake. I didn't purge Swindle when I should have, or I didn't purge Dust Imp.
And we were playing those games like this is how I play against that deck,
right?
In mass mutation, it's harder to do that for some reason.
Yeah. Because it's like, I don't know. You're not playing around specific cards necessarily.
It feels like a lot of the time the things you are doing don't matter.
Yeah.
If you're losing.
It's like the draws, right? Like if I am playing the autocoder versus the Reclaimed by Nature deck, but they don't draw their Reclaim by Nature until the end, and the Uncoated done its damage, then it just feels like stuff like that. So
I don't know if it's a lack of experience, because even it was like by the time we got to the end of the tournament with other tournaments, it was different.
Both AOA and Worlds Collide, the games got progressively better the longer we went through the bracket, and Mass Mutations was like 90% blowouts. It was just like most games were blowouts one way or the other, right?
Even within a match.
I don't think we'd ever had so many one-sided nights as we've had with Mass Mutations.
Whereas one was just 6-0.
Yeah. Like there would be nights where one of us just hadn't won a game, and that was like, those were rare in the Coda days. Those were rare in the AOA days. Those were rare in the Worlds Collide days. They happened, but Mass Mutations, it was just, I mean, like, it was not uncommon for one of us to get blown. You'd just been like a whole week losing.
Yeah. I think there was like 3 streams in a row. I lost 1-5, and I think you had the same exact streak. Like,
there was like a week where I was like, "Can I win a game, please?" So yeah, I don't know what it is. It's hard to quantify, right? You'd have to go back and watch the tape to see exactly where it is.
I don't know if it's even identifiable.
Yeah,
it's just some sort of X factor.
It could just be variance, right?
I don't know. But either way, this tournament's turning out to be very fun.
Yeah. But it's always a blast to go back and revisit these decks, especially because a lot of these matchups I don't think have happened.
So that's one thing about Keyforge. This is a revelation that came to me the other night. Is that it's unlike any other card game because the deck you love always exists. So imagine if you could go back, like, what's your favorite Magic standard deck that existed within Magic, and you could just play that deck forever. That deck is viable forever.
Yeah. Now it might have a bad matchup. Like, I really enjoyed Lorwyn Merfolk as a deck.
Yeah. So what if right now you could take Lorwyn Merfolk and bring it into a Magic tournament? And that's why when we did Choose Your Own Standard as a format, where we like basically said you choose these 3 sets, you can make a deck out of these 3 sets, and that's the format.
It's a shame.
That's why that format was so fun.
Yeah.
But then Wizards broke Standard as like, here's exactly how Standard's laid out, block, core. But
right. But yeah, I mean, that's
a whole other discussion. But like back to Keyforge, is like you can have nostalgia for a deck and also bring it to a tournament.
Yeah.
It's like, I got this is my first Keyforge deck ever. And it's still legal, and it's competitive, and it's got good matchups, it's got bad matchups, but it's a deck that I enjoy playing and I know very well.
Yeah, and you got that, like, there's like a curiosity involved with it too. It's like Ardreth is a deck that I adore, and it's a deck that I love, but it's one of those where it's like it's getting harder and harder for me to justify taking it to an Archon event because its matchups are so polarizing.
Yeah,
and it's one of those where, like, now that I've played it a bunch, when I play against decks that like can establish a board, even though Ardreth is so good at killing creatures, but if you play just like 3 Sanctum creatures and you just reap with them until I can kill them.
Yeah, like, if you just stare at yourself, I'll play them again.
Yeah, and if you just, especially anything that has like a play effect, Ezekiel's, whatever it may be, like those just keep getting played over and over again. Like, you will eventually beat Ardreth, and good players can like sort of identify that as you play against them. Where I think Ardreth is like really good at flustering somebody who's probably experienced with the game, right? Like, you hit somebody with like the 5th Infernus, and the opponent just gets tilted at that point.
Yeah, like,
and they're like,
in the first game, right?
Yeah,
like how many people would have just said, "It's over, you purchased."
Yeah, and just concede and move on, right?
But I'm like, I still
like
a path to victory because Swindle's there.
Yeah,
because I can still get a board down and use them
and dust imp and stuff like that.
So you don't give up.
Yeah. And that's where Ardreth is like, has like this, it's like super good against players who are not as experienced, and the more experienced the player is, the harder Ardreth falls off. So if you're playing, that's why I think my performance at the Glorious U was, I went 3-5, right? And it was just like, you play Dave Cordero, Ardreth is not nearly as good. You just play people, play TCO nonstop, and they've played against decks that, like, okay, that's a cool Infernus deck, but I've played against the best possible Infernus deck, and you keep a level head, and you can.
Yep.
So yeah. But back to my point about back to your point about like really liking a deck. it wasn't until I played Ardreth versus Mass Mutations that I realized like how bad Mass Mutations was for Ardreth. That's because it first doesn't
icons, play effects, red.
Ardreth doesn't even touch the icons, right? Like purging a card, the card draw, the capture, the damage. That doesn't do anything with Infernus, right? It's not like Mindfire. And the really bad cards for you are like Rad Penny. I think there was a game where my opponent bow knifing safe housed me.
Bow knifing is super bad for you, right?
Yeah, and it's just steel in general is so bad versus Ardreth. It doesn't have a way to stop it, and Ardreth takes so long to generate its amber that any amber stolen from it was the Light Tasker matchup problem, right?
Yeah,
because Light Tasker will eventually get to the point where it can steal amber. Every amber that Light Tasker steals is amber that Ardreth will never get back.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well,
what's Friday night?
Good stream. We stopped in the middle, but I was thinking we could do Half Truths, the Ken Jennings, Richard Garfield game. And it's like a trivia type game, so everyone can play along.
That'd be cool.
It seems it's got some cool stuff going. I haven't actually read the rules yet.
Okay.
But Catan, no, we're not playing Catan. No Catan. But I'll keep up the theme of playing Richard Garfield-like games. Kingdom Death. I would love to do Kingdom Death.
Yeah. So the thing is,
I think it's too big.
Yeah.
We would have to revisit our entire setup.
Yeah.
It could take up this whole board, or it could take up this whole table.
Yeah, we would have to have. We would almost need a second camera for the town stuff, if that makes sense.
Well, we could like bring the town stuff in when we do it.
Well, I would almost want that set up in another place.
I would almost want that set up like on an application that we could just share, and I think there are applications for Kingdom Death now where you can just keep track of all the town stuff within that.
The problem with Kingdom Death is that if we started playing Kingdom Death on stream, that's all we would want to do.
Yeah. And also the problem is if we set Kingdom Death on the table, it's so hard to like bring it out, set it out, or bring it down. We played
Kingdom Death for like 2 months consecutively. Like we would both get home from work, and it was like we're
it's
playing
like 5 o'clock
and we're
in the morning. After as soon as we got home from work, we sit down at the Kingdom Death table.
Yeah,
we order food and we go.
Yeah,
and we're playing.
It's like the food shows up and we're eating the food while we're playing.
Yeah,
and we'd play until we went to bed. We play like
it was like 6 hours a night every night for several months.
It was like several months in a row because like we got like slightly burned out on it. I think we put it away for like a get together. A bunch of people came over, and then like a week went by, and we were like, "Hey, you
trying to start a new
campaign? Think about playing some more Kingdom?"
Because like the beginning of the campaigns are always very fun. Because that's when things are hardest.
And you in like the end of a Kingdom Death campaign, you know you're getting close to it, and you're creeping closer to the end of the campaign, and you don't know when exactly it's going to be because you're not sure what's going to like wipe you out.
We never even fought the Cold Smoke Knight. We only got to the Lantern.
Well, you have to. The thing is, you have to beat the Lantern dude,
which I don't know how you do.
I don't
also because we only fought him one time.
Yeah, man, we got trashed.
Obliterated us.
Like it was. Kingdom Death is like Ninja Gaiden hard.
Yeah.
So, did you get Netrunner and Necromancer? We did not. I do have the Netrunner here. I do have the Netrunner here. Okay, so tentative schedule. Starting in January, we're going to do D&D instead of board game nights. And we're probably going to do that. We'll try to do that to like a 4 to 8 week, somewhere in there. I would like to target 6 if possible, maybe, but it just kind of depends on how it goes. And then after that, we might do season 2 of Card Game Necromancy.
Yeah, we'll see if we can dredge some games from the depths.
Yeah, and I would like to. We've got Netrunner here. We would like to revisit the Lord of the Rings game. I think it would be fun to play basically like scrub mode Lord of the Rings. We've just built some really bad decks. Okay. We try not to, because the thing is, like, if we went back and looked at our Lord of the Rings decks that we played, they were like 75% rares.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
because that was the game.
Then. Yeah.
And so it would be funny to go back and basically build like Pauper Lord of the Rings decks or something like that. Like it would be fun. And Lord of the Rings Necromancy was like by far our most popular video on YouTube,
and still is
to date.
Yeah,
like it is an order of magnitude more popular than our regular.
And who knows why? And I think it's
content.
part of part of YouTube algorithms just like elevating some videos for no reason.
Yeah,
like
well,
the one
I think
Champions video.
Yeah, I think people just look at Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think there was what was the Amazon series announced? It's the thing is, it's like if there was like random Lord of the Rings news that week,
that could have been why.
That could have been why that video was bumped, right?
You started watching Necromancy? Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, I mean, a lot of part of the reason why we wanted to do the Necromancy series is because it felt like we could maybe find some other people out there that would want to take a look at Keyforge. I mean, it could very well be that Keyforge is somebody else's card game Necromancy series someday, right? So, well, I mean, especially now, right?
It's like people are wanting to explore things because there's nothing else to do.
Well, I think
right?
I think another part of the thing is,
I want to play the X-Files game. That's what I want.
We have a friend who has X-Files.
Oh my god.
Matt bought some.
He
also got some Babylon 5. The Babylon 5 is not a good 2-player game. The Babylon 5 is an excellent 4-player game. It's probably the best 4-player card game of all time because there is so much politics that goes on at any given time. It's a lot like Diplomacy in that you can't win the game by yourself, and if you get too far ahead, everybody starts teaming up against you. All right, so you have to like jockey for position now. But the thing is, you're essentially playing a board game. It's just you brought a pre-constructed deck. So game's hidden in the closet. Well, another thing is, it's part of the reason why Magic cards are worth so much right now, because people who started playing 15 years ago have jobs. They have careers, right? And if you spent the same percentage of your income that you did 15 years ago on Magic now with a higher income, it will buy you a whole lot of cards, right? I remember in Champions of Kamigawa Standard, the most expensive card at the time was whatever that three cost. It was a 4-cost sorcery. You named a card, you went through their hand and deck, and you removed all copies of it from the game. That card was the most expensive card in Standard at the time, and it was $20.
What? Well, that was before Legendaries, right? Or Mythics?
It's before Mythics.
Yeah.
I would say Champions of Kamigawa Standard was the nadir of Magic as far as popularity, right? Affinity did what it could to try to kill the game. And then they basically had to ban Affinity, and a bunch of people stopped playing at the time. And so Magic had to like slowly rebuild from Champions of Kamigawa, which is a shame because they're basically never ever going to do another Kamigawa set because it's associated with Wizard. It's the same thing with like Time Spiral. Both Kamigawa and Time Spiral were where sales were like some of the lowest it had ever been.
They're equating it with that set instead of like maybe other factors.
Yes. So it's not like the game was in a rebounding period from Time Spiral. Like the game had to rebound through
because Time Spiral blocks like some of my favorite Magic.
Yeah, well, I think it was Kamigawa Ravnica was super popular. Then Time Spiral came out. And the game dipped back down for whatever reason
because it wasn't Ravnica, right? It wasn't in the same.
Well, the thing
Ravnica
about
was like very powerful.
Well, Ravnica, they didn't build your decks for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they just kind of printed some good stuff.
They're gonna release another Time Spiral set next year. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, so the thing about, but they don't, where they're at now, right? Is they can afford to experiment with a set. They can just do wacky stuff in a set, right? Like Companions and Ikoria. Basically make a commander set for Standard because they're not committed to the 3-set blocks, if that makes sense, right? When they were in the 3-set blocks, you had to introduce stuff. You had to mess around with the concept, and then you had to like reverse expectations in the 3rd set, right? And so they had to escape that system and then you can just kind of experiment with the sets. Because Magic is so popular right now, you can make because you could argue that the standard sets for the last like 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe I would say I would go back to Battle for Zendikar and say that's about when. No, I think my brother and I have talked about this a lot. I think the biggest offender is Avacyn Restored. I think that set right there was so popular because of stupid angels. That set was so popular, and Wizards learned the wrong lessons from that set, and they've been trying to produce something to that level since then. That standard has been screwed ever since, right? It was about the same time they started launching the Commander products, and they started realizing how much money they could make off a Commander, and they basically, I would say a good 50%, 60% of the game that's printed right now is printed for Commander.
It's at least within mind, because that stuff sells. Because like, people want to add a card to their Commander deck.
Yeah.
You know? That's what has driven up the price of all kinds of random cards in the past, like in past sets.
Time shifted to be cards that have never printed an old border with old border.
Give me my old border back. The new border has sucked ever since it was first introduced in Mirrodin. It's garbage. It's trash. Get it away from me. I did like the Future Sight border.
I don't hate the Future Sight border.
I like that a lot. I wish they would have actually used it.
Yeah, it's the kitchen. Exactly. I mean, go back to Babylon 5, right? It's multiplayer format, right? You can't win a game necessarily by yourself. There's some politics involved and stuff like that. People like that in Commander. Now, imagine the game was specifically designed, and there were like power spike stops along the way in Commander, right? Basically saying, hey, it's turn 1. You can't generate more than one. You can't generate more than 1 mana on turn 1, right? No Soul Ring into Signet. Right, Babylon 5 has this slow progression. It's not the Hearthstone system where you just generate mana as you go along. The Babylon 5 system has this power, and you start the game with 3 power. And if you want to play a card, you have to spend power to play a card, or you can spend that power to generate another power. You have to like spend 3 power and tap something to generate a power. So the very early turns of Babylon 5 are mostly about like establishing some stuff, and then you start like this conflict phase of the game where people are trying to get their agendas. So whereas in Commander, it's like you're just trying to assemble your combo or whatever. I hate to be like an old fogey about Magic, but Commander was way more fun when we would just take a goofy concept and run with it. I
mean, there's still like Commander is dictated by the play group, right?
I think it is right. If you're playing with people who all have if everybody wants to play 2-card combos and everybody's trying to put together Kiki Jiki Pestromite stuff, that's fine, because if that's what the group enjoys, that's what the group enjoys.
I think that's what the good thing about Commander is like you can sort of tailor it for your play group.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of play groups now do that still, so that's good. I mean, I have no problem with that. But yeah, like you're saying, if everyone just wants to like win on turn 2, that's less fun.
It's not nearly as fun.
Playing it to win, playing it competitively.
Yeah, my brother enjoyed playing Lavissa Cold Eyes, who's not a particularly powerful legend. It's a 3/3 for 5 that gives all of your soldiers, barbarians, and warriors +2/+2 and haste or something like that, right? So it's like a tribal commander. And he just found he went to gather, looked up every barbarian, warrior, and soldier, put them in the deck. Put some equipment, and he liked to RP Lavissa Cold Eyes because Lavissa Cold Eyes text is something about like burning the ice wizards. And so if somebody played like blue mana and did something, my brother would be like, "Well, that's dangerously close to ice wizardry there," and then he would attack you until you were dead with barbarians. So it wasn't like. That's
the way to play Commander.
Yeah, and like that's fun to me. Like I had a Hazazon Timar. You gonna make some Sand Warriors? So I had I used for the longest time I used Intet the Dreamer, but I swapped it to Animar once that commander came out. And Anabar is like plan C in the deck, and it's mostly because I really enjoy playing blue, red, green. My goal with that deck was to warp world the game as many times as possible, just to see what would happen. I would try to engineer a board state where I cast warp world for the rest of the game, and just see what happens. So,
all right, well.
I can end up talking.
We
about
can talk about you got a bonus, just games in general.
Bonus Magic podcast
/ Magic, yeah. So yeah, we'll cut off there. What did I say the name of the game was? Hard Truths.
Hard Truths
by Richard Garfield and Jeopardy champion Ken Jennings.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. It'll be a little more of a another play along stream, kind of like Codenames.
Yeah, and I think the Codenames one was a blast. So
we have not tried Flesh and Blood.
Flesh and Blood, no. What is that?
That's the new TCG.
No, we have not tried that. No.
We are mostly turned off by new TCGs.
Yeah, it
does look cool.
I was almost convinced to play Warhammer? Was it Invasion? Is that
Warhammer, the one with the spinny cards.
The one with the spinny cards, the ones that.
And that game's dead now.
Whatever that game was called. That's the closest I've come.
Warhammer Champions.
Champions, yeah. That's the closest I've come to playing a collectible game since Star Wars Destiny. And I bought a lot of Destiny. I had a lot of fun with Destiny. I never took it nearly as seriously as Justin did. Justin played Destiny very competitively. But
it's almost time for a card game, Necromancy Destiny.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be fun to just throw decks together and play. I still have my stuff.
Yeah. Destiny's a good game. It's a lot
really
of fun.
Good. Yeah.
The
boxes of Flesh and Blood are $1,000. What? For real?
Or Destiny.
No, Destiny is not. Destiny's like $4 for a lot. It's like really cheap.
It's dirt cheap.
It is dirt cheap. Yeah.
Wow, that's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame.
Because
yeah, I still have so much dice. Like I don't.
Yeah,
it takes space.
What the game was a storage nightmare, right? So.
Yeah. Hondo Jabba. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool like decks you could build with Destiny. That's one of my favorite part was like brainstorming.
I think my favorite part of Destiny was when it was 2 characters in the meta. Yeah. You just had 2 characters.
That my problem. I quit because the meta evolved to like
it was like
wide boards that just generate resources and played supports that were so boring. And it's just like I activate my support, it rolls. My AT-AT rolls a die. But like when it's one of my favorite decks is Obi-Wan and Maz, where you could just like roll Obi-Wan. He has like 3 weapons on him. You roll 5 dice. You resolve some dice.
We'll look into Flesh and Blood. I mean, honestly, right now with the pandemic, it's hard to say that you're going to buy into any kind of game.
Yeah.
Like Keyforge, at least we can play Keyforge together, and there's a community for it.
And then, like, what? No, nothing against Flesh and Blood, but like my problem with TCGs is like you make the meta decks, you play the meta decks sometimes, and then you're kind of done.
Yeah. It's like why I could never stream games that I enjoy, like even Runeterra. Right?
Yeah, we couldn't stream Magic because
I really enjoy Runeterra. I like playing Magic. I mean, honestly, I would go back and play Magic again if I felt I had enough time to be good at it. I still much prefer Magic as a limited format, and I think that's part of the reason why I love Keyforge.
Right, because
you got to make do with what you got, right?
Yeah.
So.
Because like drafting would be fun probably in it, but it would be like a limited amount of fun we could have with the box, right? Yeah, no, we can't. We can't leave the house anytime soon, so we're trapped.
Yeah, America's doing. Australia, from all things that I've heard, is actually doing pretty great with COVID, because there seems to be a desire by the community at large to curtail it, and that is not
take it seriously
replicated across all of America.
Yeah,
so.
They're built for sealed and seeded for that. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Oh, our state? No.
I don't know.
No.
I wouldn't.
Our state? No. Oh no.
No.
No, our state? Not our state. Our state? No. All right, everyone have a great night. We'll see you on Friday.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.